How much do you expect your guy to make a year?
At least 7 figures. 7 figures at least.
Do you know how difficult it is to make 7 figures?
Absolutely, I do.
Obviously, we deserve it. 7 figures.
7 figures, both of you.
Yes, we deserve it. What?
I'm sorry. 7 figures? Can we just go back to that? What is going on there, Mrs. Potatoes bag?
She has like been squished into a really, really tight bag.
That's like one of those like things you put on your gut to push it in.
Yeah.
But she just, so it's like, what do they call, like a bando, and it pulls in, but it just like her belly popped out, and so it went up here, and it's like
too small for us. It's way too small. But what man is going to date her that's making 7 figures?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm making $1 million. That's $1 million, making $1 million a year.
And they're going to date that. No way. Absolutely no way.
And this is where the whoflation is important. We got to talk about this. This is where the feminists always become absolutely atrocious, and they're like, hey, don't body shame, don't attack. And you go, hold up. I am not going around and just pointing out to an ugly girl here, which she could be attractive. That's a sad part. If she lost weight, fat women are gross. So if she lost weight, she could be attractive. But the whole point is that she doesn't lose weight. Her standards are high, and they're not even just high, they're unattainable.
Yeah.
So she's not even like, it's not even like, hey, girlfriend, I'm just going to try to like bring you back to reality a little bit. Like, you want a guy that's 6 foot that makes 6 figures. Like, the reality is you're probably going to have to take a guy that's 5'7" that makes $50K if he's even willing to hit you up.
Totally.
But she just goes straight for like, I want a guy that doesn't exist, or a guy that genuinely would not go for that. And you go, that's why we have to take such a harsh approach to them, because their perspective is extreme. They have an extreme disassociation, women do today, of who men are. And then every time men tell you, here's how we are, they go, that's no. It's not, you've ran the world for too much. And you go, we just want a sweet girl who's lovely, who laughs at our jokes.
Yeah, 100%.
Cooks and cleans. We don't want this fugly slut.
No way. Like, I have a friend who is struggling in the dating scene, and he was like, I just want a girl with good morals. Like, I don't even care if she doesn't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to be super attractive. Just be nice. Be a sweet girl. Do the dishes. Make me a sandwich. That's simple. Like, literally, it's that simple.
And there's a lot of women who want that too.
Yeah.
That no one talks about that. There's so many females out there like that don't want to just club. And this is where they've been sold the lie.
Yeah.
Is that from your own experience, when were you happier? Were you happier when you were out clubbing, when you were out living, and the way that you'd want, or are you happier with a kid at home? Like, realistically, and I'm Kyle might be mad, but it's like, genuinely, were you happy then? Like, what?
No.
Or what? So what changed? Why did you change? Like, what was it?
Well, I guess I had a kid. Like, she was unplanned, but it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've never been happier staying home, making my family dinner. Like, that is the happiest time in my whole entire day, is just making my family dinner. Like, nothing could make me happier than spending time with my daughter, seeing her smile, making my husband food, like he comes home from a hard day at work, and I get to spend time with my family. It's the best, most rewarding thing a woman could ever have in her whole entire life. And nothing competes with that. No career, no amount of money could compete with having a family.
Sorry. Not even that? I don't even know why that started playing.
Scared the shit out of me.
I don't even know how that started playing. But that's the alternate, right? That's what you have. That's what you have.
That used to be me.
Yeah, I mean, and they're like, hey, this doesn't look more fun to you? And it's like, this woman does not look happy. She does not look like she's enjoying herself at all. And I think that's the problem with what women are being sold, is they're being sold a lie. And this is where I have a massive disagreement with Daily Wire's What is a Woman, is they devoid their entire argument of God, and they go, a woman is an adult human female. And I feel like that really discounts the real definition of a woman, that a woman was designed to be a helpmate to man who was designed in God's image.
Yeah, exactly.
And that they are to be a caretaker, a nurturer. And part of the blessing and the curse is from them comes all offspring. And they're to be mothers and helpers. And that's what a woman is. She's a mother and a helper. Does that mean that she can't change the world? what changes the world more than to be a great mother? And they go, and so you look at it though, and you go, yeah, Ben Shapiro, all he says every day is my wife's a doctor, my wife's a doctor. And I understand we all have different, like maybe people have to both work to survive in life. I totally understand dual income it's really hard to live today with prices of things without people working. The dude makes millions of dollars. His wife didn't need to work. They could raise their kids.
She could be a stay-at-home mom for sure.
Right. But the leader of the conservative movement's proud that his wife's a working woman. And that's whatever, you can do you. But it's like, that would make sense then from that organization comes the notion of a woman's an adult human female. But that's not true. That's actually not what a woman is. A woman has purpose and identity. That's just what her body is. That's what her flesh is. And that's breaking a woman down to just who, again, it's the same thing as like sex. It's just like a woman's a body. She's a chromosomes and DNA. It's like, no, there's a spirit, there's a soul in there that has drive. And when you deprive women of that and you tell them, oh, that's all you are, then what difference is that than what the feminists tell you? Is that you're just the same as man. You're just an adult human male, an adult human female. You're just different. All that changes is what? Your DNA? No, it's like there's a reason why you're here. And if we don't get into that with them, then we have all these conservative women. I mean, you were talking about that earlier. The idea of like, we have all these women talking about conservatism that are not married, they don't have kids, that are approaching their 30s, and they're like, yeah, we're anti-feminism. It's like, you are a feminist.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's frustrating, and it's really sad to see all these women that are so-called feminists, but the thing is, in 20 years, they're going to be lonely, and they're going to totally regret all the decisions that they've made in their entire life. And it's not like once you're past your prime childbearing years, you're done. Like, you can't have kids anymore once you've gone through menopause. And these women, it's gonna be a really sad reality. But I recently read a study that actually suggested that married women who are stay-at-home mothers that have a partner who earns more are actually the happiest women.
Really?
Yeah, which is super interesting because you see all these other studies that try to suggest that single women are the happiest.
But they're not though.
No.
And this is where I also see people say like, oh, well, married men, you've never been married then because marriage is not fun and it's not interesting. But it's like, no, I think when you're married and when you start to have kids and whatnot is when you start to actually figure out your design, your purpose, and your role, and you live in that role. And I think that a lot of men are unhappy because their wives just give up and they get fat and ugly and they're annoying. And they're just the same thing. It's like, I don't just want some fat chick, I didn't want to marry a fat chick. So why would I want you to get fat? And this is a shout out to the women. Stop being fat. We need to tell all women to just stop eating so much.
Such a simple thing.
It's not your genetics. It's not your glucose.
You don't have big bones.
You don't have big bones. It's not your stress. It's not your hormones. You are a fat pig because you eat too much. And everyone can get into a calorie deficit and lose actual adipose by that simple fact. There's no, here's the diet to kill fat. There's no, here's the special exercise routine. You don't even have to exercise to lose weight. It is helpful to shape you up. It is helpful to creating a calorie deficit. And it is helpful to looking more refined and to having a healthier body and many other effects. But to not be fat, you just need to stop being a fat loser and close your mouth.
It's so simple. And I think this is why they've created the body positivity movement, is so they just don't have to lose weight. Now it's like, just love me as I am. I can be 300 pounds and you have to accept me and say that I'm beautiful. No, you're not.
Well, and
at all.
Right. And this is
no one wants to see that.
But I think this is where the whole inflation is that they're, because we live in a female centric world now, that's all about what the females want. And this is what's crazy is they always complain that it's all about what men want. And it's like, no. Have you seen HR complaints at work? It's all women. Yeah. Men are trying to work and all women do is try to destroy men. This is like a very common thing in all of history. A very, very, very common thing. And I don't really do drama in terms of that regard, but it's like one of the main things I've seen is it's not just in the workplace, even in the gym. This is one of my favorite memes I've ever seen that says, where is this? Let me see if I can just even get out of this here for a second. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my gym has so many creeps starter pack. Like where women are dressed like this. And I know I go to the gym. Women dress like this. You can literally see their camel toe and their nipples. And you're just a guy. So you just notice it's called biology 101. You're like, oh, yeah. Like, hey, And then I don't need to explain to anybody. Hopefully you understand that by now. But then they're like, this is that new thing where they're like, why are guys staring at me? Why are they looking at me? What's this? It's like, well,
Don't
maybe
sexualize me.
you're wearing your underwear. I can see your vagina. I can see your nipples.
Yeah,
I'm not even into you.
It's so
I just can
common
see
on
your
the Gold
nipples.
Coast. It's crazy.
Everybody here is like naked in this. Everybody. The UN food chief of all things, they warned that the world is headed towards disaster. They said we're knocking on famine's door. He called that we're facing a perfect storm of a perfect storm, and he's not alone. Now, Barron's published that a food shortage could be coming even in the U.S. soon, and we've seen it with eggs, etc. Farmers see it too. John Boyd Jr., a fourth-generation farmer, told Fox News that we're going to see empty food shelves in the coming months. And I don't even know why they say in the coming months, because literally, there's empty food shelves everywhere. That's why getting survival food is more important than ever right now. And don't wait until it's too late. You need to create your own stockpile of the best-selling at 4 Patriot survival food kits. Now, this is not ordinary food. We're talking about good 25-year super survival kits of the highest quality ingredients that are handpicked in a family-owned facility in the USA, giving jobs to over 200 Americans. Now, they have different and delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, and you can make these meals in less than 20 minutes. Just add boiling water, simmer, and serve. And right now, for the next few days, listeners of Slightly Offensive and Nightly Offensive will get 10% off their first order at 4patriots.com using promo code OFFENSIVE. That's the number 4, PATRIOTS.com. Use promo code OFFENSIVE. Go to 4patriots.com. Pick up your food today. And remember, we're demonetized everywhere. And they've said, hey, we not only want to keep this show going, we not only want to fund this awesome program, but we also want to make sure that you keep your body fueled with the best preparation meals possible. Go to 4patriots.com and use the promo code OFFENSIVE right now for 10% off. Click the link in the description.